Today's tip is going to be about validation, and specifically I'm going to cover one of the newer validation rules that I think was introduced in Laravel 12, if I remember correctly. And it's actually part of a new version of my Mastering Laravel Validation Rules book that just was released. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. The link is below in the comments for this video. So what is the contains rule? I think it's easiest to understand in context of an existing rule that maybe most of us have used, which is in. So if I look at this code, I can say that for the field color that's coming in, it has to be in one of these pre-approved values, right? So red, green, or blue. And if we run this and we pass in red, that passes validation. If we pass in a color that doesn't exist in the predefined list, it's false. So contains, I would not call it the opposite of this rule, but it's sort of a complement to it. So this rule is giving me a list of predefined values, and then one piece of user data has to match one of those values. Contains, if I switch over here, I provide a single value. You can do multiples here, but to illustrate this, to keep it simple, I provide a single value, and then the input is an array of values, and one of those values in the array has to contain what I'm specifying here. So in this example, I'm listing IP addresses, right? And I'm saying whatever array of IP addresses you submit, one of them has to match this address, right? It has to match 2.2.2.2. So when this comes in, because we get both of those, if I run that, that passes. You know, if I were to do this and change it to 1, then this would not pass. That would fail. So it's useful in a situation like this is a little bit of a contrived example, but maybe I'm setting up a firewall and I have to allow myself to the firewall because otherwise I'll lock myself out. So there's rules where you want to make sure at least one value or maybe two pre-known values are part of the set the user submits. So keep that in mind. This is hard to express before this rule existed. You'd have to do some very custom validation or kind of combine a bunch of different rules together to try to simulate this. Now we have it as a first-class rule in Laravel. And so if you've not seen that, maybe you're not keeping up with all the change notes or release notes that come out with new versions of Laravel. Another good reason to check out that book. We do keep it up to date as significant things happen. And we just released the brand new 3rd edition, which covers everything up through Laravel 12 that exists right now. So check that out.